Welcome back to a new episode of Community BattleCast PrimeTime. I'm your host, Doom Tanker, and in this episode we've got all your news, mod, and fan art for you guys. So let's rock and pretend we never went anywhere. Even though this news is old, we still wanted to share it with you guys. Fan art trailer by BenG89 on YouTube used footage from Generals 2 Media, plus some scenes from other CNC games, and some footage from Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighters. The trailer's pretty cool, and it's worth a look for you guys. A concept video of a VTOL, similar to the one showing off at the end of the trailer we'd seen, destroying some GLA technicals, surfaced a few weeks ago. This video originally appeared on Vimeo, but has since been taken down and is now on YouTube. You can see it there, but not sure if it'll last very long, so look it up now. There still hasn't been a lot of news revealed for Generals 2, but we got some stuff for Tiberium Alliance. Some good and some controversy. First, the good news. For those of you that have been living under a rock, the beta for Tiberium Alliance has been open for the past couple weeks. If you haven't given it a try yet, you can go join the hundreds who have been taking advantage of this opportunity to try it before its official release and offer feedback. Check out the new trailer for it, or check out the official page for the game, and get into the war now. Phenomic has also recently updated the game with regards to the combat system. They've reworked some mechanics to stop some exploits. You can read the short article on their website. There's also been a lot of unofficial tools released. These tools are aimed to enhance the game experience in the browser-based Tiberium Wars. The guys over at CNC have put together a list of some of these tools, from a world map tool, base optimizer, a stat guide, to an overall mega guide. Check out the forum post and the links for all these tools. Now for the bad news. For those of you who haven't heard about the big fiasco regarding some of the TA and concept artwork, here's the details. A while ago, the Tiberium Alliance team released some concept art for some new tanks. It appears that these two tanks in particular are a very similar resemblance to Warhammer tanks. Specifically, the Forgotten Bombard and Grinder tanks look shockingly similar to the Baneblade and the Bone Crusher. This sparked a lot of debate about the future of the browser game and a possible lawsuit from Games Workshop. In an effort to calm the storm, EA released an official statement with regards to this controversy, saying, Games Workshop and EA are aware of the IP issues around the artwork in question, which have now been resolved. The artwork was an internal EA concept artwork and was unintentionally released publicly. No Warhammer 40,000 tanks have ever made an appearance in a Command & Conquer Tiberium Alliance game, and never will. Games Workshop and EA continue to have strong relations working together. Add that to the fact that EA recently won the Worst Company in America award through a suspicious online poll and the BioWare Mass Effect 3 ending fiasco. Since the future of Generals 2 may look a little dim in the midst of all this negative press, we just have to hope that EA finally gets their heads on straight and that they do at least one thing right in the form of an awesome General 2 game. And now it's time for the mod spotlight. We got another batch of mods coming your way, so let's dive in. Since we were talking about Warhammer 40k and Command & Conquer, I'd figure I'd give this one a highlight since it's for Red Alert 2. You know, it isn't completely supported anymore. I've tried it, and besides a few little bugs, it's a fun little mod if you have a couple hours of downtime to kill. Twisted Insurrection is a standalone game based on Tiberium's Sun set in an alternate timeline. In this timeline, the Brotherhood of Nod won the first Tiberium War. Hey, I like this game already. However, with the death of Cain, Nod is breaking, and the remnants of GD are starting to make a comeback. The world's about to break into the second Tiberium War. You can download this awesome mod now, brothers. Wargames 0 Hours, based on the 1998 PC and PS1 game, Wargames DEFCON 1, which is based off the 1983 movie called Wargames. The units look really good compared to the 1998 counterpart. It hasn't been active for a while, but it may still be worth a look if you like the game or the movie. Generals, The Vortex, is a currently in development mod for 0 Hour, bringing together all of the universe together for another battle royale, and adding in naval units to the conflict. This one's worth a watch for the release. Their latest update showed off the new non-naval units. Looks pretty good. The next mod is an oldie from the Gun Run, and it's the third installment of his Retarded mod series. CNC Retarded Red Cocaine is an off-the-wall mod for Red Alert 3. With crazy action, this is definitely worth a download if you want to test your skills and strategy, or just laugh hysterically at the insane battles you'll have. RA3 Tesla Tank mod is provided through Desura. It adds Tesla tanks to your war factory, but removes the Stingray's amphibious abilities. An interesting idea if you were as mad as I was, only having them in the final mission, then this one's worth a look. Grandaball Reloaded is a really creative mod for Tib Wars, making it into a multiplayer style team deathmatch with Grenadiers and some fun use of the Unreal Tournament 2K3 and 2K4 announcer sound. This is a fun mod to play with friends, possibly even tournaments with. This This one's for a different game actually, and for those of you who own Tom Clancy's Hawks, you may want to look up this CNC-inspired edition. It's an Apollo fighter from RA3 modeled by Open Sketchbook and hosted by Jason Zumble. If you're interested, take a look at it now.
Welcome to the BattleCast 3, I'm your host Cyber, and let's finally get back into some battlecasting. First up is a game from Tiberium Wars, and features the Keep Nana 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 as the green knot on the top left side, and Dream My Ash Eye as the pink screen on the bottom right corner of Tournament Arena. Both players start out by expanding to their respective blue fields, but Dream goes for the harass with Seekers and is able to take down a Harvester. That doesn't matter too much because both players macro on and tech up to tier 3. At first it's Tripod versus Scorpion tanks, but Keith quickly realizes that he needs avatars to compete in the long term with the tripods. Avatars and tripods from these players clash again and again with base defenses on both sides helping out. Dream finally gets some Devastator warships and goes for the tech lab, but stealth tanks from Keith lock them down. Both players have quite large top tier armies, and Keith decides to go on the offensive. As tripods and storm columns fall, our Skrin leaves the dream of winning behind. Game 2 takes us to Kane's Wrath on the map Tournament Dust Bowl, with Bike Rush Owns as the green GDI in the bottom and Spec as the cyan Nod on the top. Both of our players get their economy on track, and Bike Rush goes for some Harvester harassment that is ended by Spec's defense. Mass APCs and infantry from Bike Rush battle it out with Scorpions from Spec. Spec manages to get out a Redeemer and does a fair amount of damage, but loses it to Bike Rush. Bike Rush continues to power Orcas and send them on bombing runs. A second Redeemer is built, and Spec manages to keep it alive long enough for Bike Rush to get a Mar. The two epic units cross paths, and Bike Rush's Mar manages to chase Spec's Redeemer back to Spec's base. Bike Rush pushes forward with his MCV and launches a final assault on Spec. The two armies are almost perfectly matched, but a few rocket squads from Bike Rush give him the edge he needs to kill the Redeemer and speed away with the win. And there is no third Battlecast match this episode because sometimes I am a really big bonehead and I make a really big mistake. And this was one of those times. And as a result, there's no third match.
And now it's time for the community fan art. NodSoldierGirl and I have been combing through the web for another stack of fan art for you guys. We got another nice cosplay for you guys. This one's of Dasha by Gaming Goddess. Next we have some CNC shot glasses by Contra 187. These look pretty good. All it's missing is the alcohol. Next we have a few from Adder24. First one is Cabal Was Just the Beginning. The second one we have from her is called Nod Eye. Moving right along, we have a Command & Conquer fan art by, I'm sure I'm probably butchering your name, but here it is. This last one we found on the CNC Saga DeviantArt page, Hayu. And unfortunately, this ends this episode of Community Battlecast Primetime. As per usual, leave your feedback below or in the forums. And if you have fan art, news, or anything Command & Conquer you guys want to share with the community, feel free to reach NodSoldierGirl at her email at nodsoldiergirl@hotmail.com. And we'll see you guys on the battlefield.